you for joining us today, Reema. Typically, when we start any such session, we start with the first question that we ask everyone: that what problem is your brand or business trying to solve?
Yeah, so my brand, Mentors Advisory Private Limited, is solving the problem of human beings trying to save and get financial freedom early in their life. So we help people find out pockets where they can save their money, create wealth through investing into the stock market, and get early retirement by getting financial freedom.
Super. So in the process of building a startup, or the hustle that goes behind, we often come across the self-doubt, or when we are starting something more innovative, often even the people around us doubt us. So how do you suggest that people should manage self-doubt?
For me, I'm a very spiritual person, and I always reflect within whenever I go through self-doubts. I have my own routines where I start my days with motivational books and videos, which keeps me going very strong in head and keep myself motivated. I have a very power-packed morning session, which gives me a very good start for my mornings, and that is reflected throughout my day in my work.
So I think self-reflection for the good work that has happened, and is something that keeps you up and going. uh, what do you think is the most challenging thing about entrepreneurship, and also the best thing about entrepreneurship?
I think when I see the world around, not everybody is happy, working in the corporate or the kind of job they are doing. So for me, entrepreneurship is something where people are fortunate enough to follow their heart. So for me, lucky are the few who get paid to follow their passion. And we as entrepreneur belong to that category of people. Every job or career industry, we do face a lot of challenges. So for an entrepreneur, we have to be always self-motivated. We are our own boss, and if you lack that discipline, it's like a make it or break it time for you. So you have to be very disciplined in sticking to your goals and managing your own self, your company, because there's no boss as such.
Yeah, so it's rightly said that everything has its own pros and cons, be it working having a profession as a service for any employer, or being the employer yourself. Pros and cons sabhi ke hote hain, and it is ultimately, it depends on what is your core. Basically, is your calling to be an entrepreneur, or is it that you want to be associated with the employer in order to be successful?
True.
All right. So talking about building brands or building companies or startups, burnout is real. And 2 words about how you go about managing your burnout.
I would reiterate, for me, I'm a person who ponders over, what all I'm doing in life, and, whether I'm sticking to the long-term goals. So I avoid burnout by, sticking to the long-term vision I have set for the company. And every time I feel like quitting, I remind myself, why did I, start that particular thing? So I take a lot of time out from my schedule to do unwinding. I'm a very enthusiastic person when it comes to nature. So I go on a lot of nature camps, trekking and all. At least once in a month is a short thing, and if time permits, it's twice a month. So that way I do unwinding, and it gives me a lot of time to bring back that focus and connect. And I think every entrepreneur should create that time and space for their own self, the me time, so that they don't burn out early.
So it's not a question to ask, actually, that is burnout real? Can you tell me about what are the situations of burnout that you face?
Typically, there are days which are very challenging, and you feel that, इससे ज्यादा नहीं कर सकती हूँ, या this is the max we can do, and the work is taking too much a toll on your own self, on your mental health especially. And that's why we all as an individual are programmed in a way that we have our own special connect with some or the other thing. Some people find it through music, movies, stand-ups. For me it's nature, so I go in nature and I feel I suck all the positivity from the nature, and I come back as a person, as a whole being who can give back the best to the world.
Yeah, because this is something which everyone on the internet or the ecosystem will relate to, the entrepreneurs especially, because the to-do lists will never get old.
True.
That's for real.
So seize the day, live the moment. That should be for all of us.
Yes, yes. So tell me, Reema, regarding the space or the ecosystem that we are talking about, it is never easy for entrepreneurs, and more so when you are a woman. So how has your journey been as a woman in terms of building something up, and what have you faced? Has it been good?
I don't see work in terms of gender. I feel, if you ought to do something, irrespective of you being a man or a woman, you have the capability to do it. Rather, I feel, women are more lucky when it comes to executing things, because by nature, we are programmed in a way that we are good at multitasking. So we are good homemakers, we are good mothers, and at the same time, we can, balance that thing with our work too. So for me, it's always exciting, and if you use your personality well, then you can you use your skill set well, then you in fact have an edge over the men. So I find it very interesting.
While I really appreciate the perspective that you have given, but I would also like you to highlight uh, about the women in leadership, or the women who are at this position as yours. How
Yeah.
is it from the ecosystem's perspective, or the people around you? How do they look? What kind of support you have got being a person who's trying to lead something or
So
build
I've
a brand?
always had a mixed bag, Amrit. There have been people who really appreciate that, being a woman, you're able to contribute so much into the industry, whereas there have been some misogynistic comments also, and people, discount the fact that, ultimately you're a human being, and you have the same kind of capability. So there have been comments, and that discounting factor where they dilute you down, that you're a woman and you may not have the capability at par with the men in the industry. So it's a mixed package, I would say.
So I think this is a real thing that happens, and two bits from you, two suggestions from you to all the ladies out there who are aspiring entrepreneurs, or who are in the journey of entrepreneurship. That how would you recommend them to manage this issue that you face or that they face?
I feel, I recommend to all the women that, keep your head and your standards very high, and we are all capable of achieving whatever we want. Keep yourself educated, be at par when it comes to knowing well about the industry, and people are going to comment or try to bring you down. And specifically when you are women, you will be always judge that, because you are working, maybe you're cutting down on the quality time of the family, and by default it comes from the society that women are the love and caregiver and the one who should run the family. But that's not the case. I think it's a partnership,
Much
and
more than that.
yeah, much more than that. So don't take it so hard on yourself, dear women. We are gifted, we are multitasker, and we can balance it all.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This sounded so pleasant and nice and empowering, not only to the women, but also as individuals, the spirit that you carry. Uh, Tell me, being in this service industry, has saying no to clients has been any situation that you have faced, or
Yeah.
has it been difficult to you? or how do you
Yeah,
manage that?
definitely. So I feel, you can be assertive and at the same time, say no very politely, because when a client approaches to you, he has certain expectation and you as a company have something to offer. And if that expectation and reality doesn't match, then it's not a good idea to go ahead. So you need to have discussion and clarity on whether y'all are on the same page. And if y'all are not, then saying no is always a better approach, so that the deals don't go sour in future.
Superb. All right, let's talk about managing stuff behind the scenes, the actual behind the scenes. So when we are talking about building startups and from the scratch team building and things like that, goal setting is something that has been taught to us at a very early age, even during
True.
our academics. But it is something which a lot of people leave it behind, or it's forgotten, or yad dilana is very important. A lot of people practice it today. So tell me about your way. How do you practice goal setting?
So, I always remind myself this quote that, when you plan to fail, you're basically, you'll fail. When you fail to plan, you're basically planning to fail. So goal
Hmm.
setting is the utmost thing in any entrepreneurial journey. And you need to have your long-term, medium-term, short-term goals. So I personally do an annual goal, which I set for my company with my team. Then I break it down to a monthly goal, then weekly goal, then a daily goal. And then we have a review session on, the goal which we have set and how far, we have reached in achieving that goal. So
Hmm.
it comes very handy when you plan things well, and you have a benchmark to, check whether you're covering the milestones.
Correct, correct. So talking about teams, how has your journey been about building teams, and how do you guys function? Is it offline, hybrid, or is it entirely remote? And if so, that what kind of rituals do you have in terms
Yeah.
of managing and motivating you?
So I'm a people's person. I carry a lot of warmth in my team, and I like, the whole team being as one family, and that is something we as an organization grow. Most of our work is offline, but we do have a weekly meetup where we check whether all our employees and we are on the same page, and whether we share the same goal. And if not, then we have discussions. We are very candid, we are very approachable to each other. Conversations never hurt us, so we
Hmm.
are very candid about it, and that's how our team grows. And we make sure that individual growth of the clients, of the employees, are at par to that of the organizational goal. So that's
Hmm.
how we go about it.
Hmm. Great, great. So, a quick question for you: are you a morning person or a night person?
Oh my god, I think night is deceiving. Morning, brings a lot of beautiful new things. So ever since I have been a child, I have been a morning person. So I start up my day very early, maybe between 5:30, whatever time my natural biological clock wakes me up.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
start my day, and I always believe that if you're a morning person, you get a prolonged day, and you have that quite 3 hours in the morning, say 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, where there's nobody to disturb you, and you
Hmm.
have a lot of positive energy where you can have a deep focused work.
Hmm.
So I definitely am a morning person. I would recommend everyone else also, to shift this side of uh, team,
Exactly.
because it's
So
very
even
rewarding.
yeah, even for those while our past sessions that we have had and a bunch of other entrepreneurs that we have interviewed, even though people who have been a night person, eventually through the journey of building a startup and getting into the whole rigmarole of things, they turn into the
Agree.
beings that have to get into this kind of a similar routine that you just
Right.
spoke about.
Right.
Because yeah, the morning productivity hours, you cannot, nothing matches that.
True that. The chaos is lesser in the morning, so
Yes,
you can
yes,
work with a quiet mind.
yes. Three apps or three softwares that you use to keep yourself at the top of the game.
I'm not a very high, tech person, So I keep things very simple. I have my Google Calendar very handy, where I schedule all my meetings, calls, and my goals. So another one is Screener for my stock market, where I do a lot of analysis. So that comes handy. And definitely all the social media handle, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Instagram, which you will find on my phone, uh, which we use, on a daily basis.
Correct. So, are you an avid book reader?
Uh, in college time, I was, but later on in life, other things took as priority. But lately, I have, shifted my entrepreneurial journey by syncing it to reading. So I believe that a little bit of every day is a lot better than one day just giving too much. So I make sure that I read anything between 10 pages to 30 pages a day, and I pick one book which I want to finish every month. That's like a very chaseable.
Correct. Any recommendations for our audience today?
Yeah, so if you want to be very strong from within, the spiritual book which I'll recommend is The Untethered Soul by Michelle Singer. That's one of my favorite book. The technical book, if you ask about the stock market, I'll say Bulls, Bears, and Other Beast by Santosh Nair. And there are a couple of other books, but these two are very handy for me.
Super. Thank you so much. So while entrepreneurs are putting the method behind the madness that goes behind building companies and startups, mental sanity and physical wellness is something which increasingly becomes highly important. So how do you take care of that, Reema?
I think a healthy mind is always followed by a healthy body, and it's very important to keep your health as a prime goal in your life, because your body is the place where you live in, and if you're healthy, you'll be able to do all the hard work and running around. So I have a very strict morning 3 hours routine, where I do my physical fitness, yoga, Zumba, etc. Then I have my meditation sessions, and then I have my other things where I do the reading part and other things. So that first 3 hours of my day, I make sure that I keep myself stick to things which is going to make me healthy in terms of mental fitness and physical fitness.
Super. So, speaking about the journey and the hustle, just diving a quick sneak peek into the marketing part of our businesses that we do.
Yeah.
What kind of online marketing techniques do you use, and uh, what kind of challenges do you face as an entrepreneur?
So I was not very fond of social media in the initial stage, but I realized that, today it's a world of, social media. If you're doing good work, the world needs to know, and social media comes very handy. And that's why, recently, maybe 6 months back, I started, getting little active on Instagram and other places where I do content creation on the stock market. Then we have WhatsApp broadcasts, etc., where we send our full-fledged analysis of the stock market. And then, of course, there's Twitter and other social media, which comes very handy.
Okay.
So we do a lot of video contents where, I personally have created this concept of 1 minute finance, where I educate my followers, my students, and my set of people on the tidbits of finance, or how what all they need to know before they start investing in the stock market.
Super, guys, please check out this 1 minute finance by Reema Sonkar. I'm sure finance is not everyone's cup of tea, and I'm sure if it's 1 minute, I'm sure these jargons are going to be de-jargonized and simplified by Reema. All right. So there's a lot of buzz about the Web 3.0 and the metaverse. So, having said that, it is too early for the Indian businesses. There are big brands jumping into those conversations. So, any early thoughts about what it is for you?
So we, as an investment company, have tried our hands with the crypto world. The cryptocurrency workshop we used to take very aggressively a year back when the crypto market was very active. So there we explored the blockchain technology, and crypto as a world needs a lot of policy changing, and blockchain technology in particular has a lot of scope in future. So for now, in our company, we haven't thought anything about it, but in the coming future, where if blockchain technology becomes a part of stock market, it would be interesting to explore on how things shape up, and we would be the first one to try our hands on.
Amazing, amazing. So, time is of essence, Reema. Before we wind up today's session, for the people out there who want to get into the journey of being an entrepreneur, building startups, or building valuable solutions for people, three things
Right.
that you have learned from your journey of entrepreneurship that you would like to give out to these young minds.
Okay. So I believe that there's always a gap in the market. And if you have a solution to that gap, you don't have to sell your product. People will come, chasing you. So do that. Then, we cannot direct the wind, but we can definitely adjust our sails. So time may be difficult, but if, you take advantage of it, then things can really turn in your favor. And remember that a strong mindset follows a strong body and a healthy business. So keep your mind very strong and healthy, and you have the world to win.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And that's what is the objective of Amazing Entrepreneurs as a series, is to show the real behind the scenes of entrepreneurship, because all that people see on the internet is the buzz about a brand or buzz about people, the glamour about the people who have been working really really hard to build businesses. But that is not just the whole figure, or not just the whole view of what happens while someone is trying to build up something or get this thing going and rolling in the market. It is that there is this madness that goes behind the highs and the lows, and eventually when you get there, there's a little bit of glamour that people see and
Right.
try to jump in that. Even I want to be this, I want to be that. It takes a lot of intelligence, research, and a lot of madness. So if I can put it like that. And Amazing Entrepreneurs as an initiative is trying to uncover the behind the scenes and actually show the world that entrepreneurs are to be celebrated, and they don't get enough of mileage, or they don't get enough appreciation for the good work that is going behind them. So we really appreciate Reema for
Thank you.
doing the good work that you're doing. Before we wrap up, I would allow you to make your closing statements so that we can wrap up the session.
I feel that great things never come out of comfort zone. You really have to work hard. uh, so get out of your comfort zone. Netflix or Amazon web series is not going to help you achieve your entrepreneurial journey. Prioritize your time, and time will prioritize you. Also, there's nothing as an overnight success. There's years of hard work put in by people, and then there's this one day when that person gets all the limelight, and people say it's an overnight success. And there's nothing called lucky in this business world. There's a lot of hard work. Luck can further push it. So continue toiling hard. Don't miss the vision, don't miss the bigger goal, and never forget why you started. So don't quit, people.
Superb, superb. That was an amazing piece of wisdom from Reema Sonkar, founder of Mentors Milestone. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining us, Reema. We will be catching up with you offline, and to all our guys on the live stream, we'll be coming up with more bunch of such amazing sessions with amazing entrepreneurs. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.